Hello everyone. If you've been to our Facebook page, that's why you're here now to our YouTube channel. So we're going to be doing a whole series on how to do business. This first one is just to get you thinking and go over some basic steps to either increase your business, take it to another level, to help you get through COVID and get another base again. Because let's face it, through this whole pandemic worldwide, the values of businesses have gone down tremendously, and just business in general, it's hard to come by. So you've got to get leaner, meaner, and just understand business. What you got away with before, possibly we can't get away with now. So one of the things I wanted to start with was changing your thinking. So when COVID first came out, and basically everybody was scrambling to understand how was this going to affect us specifically in businesses. And so within our office, we got together and I said, you know what, we are not going to participate in the COVID-19 scare. Whatever it takes, we can't lose the business. So we had to come up with some different thinking. And actually, I think we've become a better business because of it. So we're going to take some of those lessons that we learned from that, and we want to help other people all around the world. So wherever you're viewing this video, doesn't matter if you're in Liberia, Philippines, wherever, somebody there is successful. If it's one person, you need to get the mindset of, why not me? So to change your thinking, that's number one up there, because however you did business in the past, you may have to change your way of thinking. If you're thinking about doing a business, you have to wonder, why wasn't I successful in what I was doing before? Or why didn't I even start it? Everybody starts with some basic baggage. However you were raised, some people are real fortunate. They come from a business family. You're taught the business basics all the way coming up. But most of us did not have successful parents. We didn't all come from fantastic homes. People come from abusive relationships. Whatever it is, you got to overcome that. The first thing you got to do is change your thinking. Don't be a victim. What's in the past is in the past. Move forward and let's start the new day a new way. So part of that is then, when you're changing your thinking, you need to sit down and think of what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are. So I'm going to give everybody some homework. That's down here, number 5. Not that that's only the lowest importance, but every single day, no matter how things went, you got to evaluate what worked, what didn't, what did I do right, what did I do wrong, and your personal strengths and weaknesses. If you have a short temper, you better get over that, because you can't be a hothead and be in business. And otherwise, if you get the right mindset, which is a day-by-day thing, then part of changing your thinking is also to start thinking strategically. And the next video we do, we're going to get way more in depth about how to start thinking strategically. First, overcome any biases you have for or against the business, and also work on your baggage. It's too heavy a load to be carrying baggage. Being a successful or having a successful business is hard enough the way it is. Don't be toting baggage around. So to go with change your thinking, you need to change your habits. So if you're out clubbing every night, you're not putting the time into your business. If you are, whatever it is, if you're not improving yourself, reading everything you can. Now with the internet, hey, back in the day when I first started business, when I was a young pup, you didn't have the internet. When you did research, it was going to a library, buying books or something like that. But now, at the touch of your fingers, you can be an expert on basically anything if you study it for 2 weeks. I'm not saying you can be a brain surgeon in 2 weeks, but you can really improve your selling skills, your business skills, if you really start devoting your time to it. So you need to change your habits. You can't sleep till noon every day and expect that you're going to be a success in business. And so anyway, part of your self-evaluation, your strengths and weaknesses, what bad habits do you have? Start changing them. It doesn't happen overnight. If you're a 3-pack a day smoker, try to go down to 2 packs. It's baby steps. Okay, then one of the most important things is you have to make a plan. And we'll get to a 1-page business plan later, but if you're working for somebody now and you want to have your own business, you need to start planning on what you're going to do. If you're working for somebody and what you want to do is get a promotion, then make a plan on how you're going to do that. Talk to your boss and be real blunt with them. Say, what do I have to do to get ahead here? Become the best employee you can possibly be. And if you're going to switch and become your own boss, then you got to start thinking like a boss then. But ask your boss what it takes. You may think you're the best worker in the world, and he may tell you, you know, you're pretty lazy. Sally and John are doing something different than you are. Start making that plan by watching successful people. If it's your boss, great. If you hate your boss and you want to get out of there, use that as incentive to get out, but also notice what he's doing right and what he's doing wrong. I'm sure you're going to see a lot of things both ways. And number 4, you need to learn the art of persuasion, which is basically sales. But you have to do persuasion no matter what you do. If you want to date somebody, you've got to persuade them to come out with you in the first place. That's the art of persuasion. That's a sales call. Do you close the sale, or are you just doing a presentation all the time? We'll get real in depth about the art of persuasion and sales. That'll probably be 2 or 3 lessons all by itself. But if you know who Warren Buffett is, one of the richest men in the world, he's made his living by investing in old school things that make money. Railroads, trucking, basic things that will always have a return on a business that's run properly. And he thinks more like an accountant. But when somebody asked him, what's the most important thing that you can do to be successful? He said, learn sales. And if I haven't touched on it already, unless you're going to get your MBA from Stanford or Harvard or Oxford, somebody, your really well-known schools, you are not taught sales in a regular business climate. Real sales on each step-by-step process. It's very simple, but every single person can be successful in sales using your own personality, not cloning what I do or somebody else, but you use the steps, use your own personality, and if you're not a success, it's because you're not working hard enough. And that's pretty much what it takes in business anyway. You need to master all these things and then work harder than most of your competition. That brings up staying focused. You can't be chasing a shiny new object every time something new comes around. When you decide on what you're doing, you need to hit that hard, stay focused, and think whatever marketing you're going to do, whatever sales you're going to do, whatever you're going to want to pursue, it has to be a laser-like focus. Now that doesn't mean at certain times you don't pivot into something else, because lots of successful businesses have started focused on this and they got into it and it was like, you know what, that's not working. But when you make the change, it's got to be calculated and strategic. But to start out, stay focused. Okay, I put 6 in here because that doesn't seem like, oh well, that's really not that important, but it is. Because if you treat everyone well, you get a reputation. You get people that want to help you. If you're going in on a sales call, or you're trying to meet the CEO of a company that you want to do business with, the person who meets you at the door is not only the gatekeeper. If they start saying good things about you, you're going to get to the decision maker. And I just have one small story about that. When I first got into sales, I started working for a company, and once I got into the business, I quit a job, started working for them. I'm not at the new company 2 days, and I realized this place is losing money hand over fist. And I'm like, wow, I had a little, my first baby, young wife, and I quit a good job for something that I thought was going to be better. And quite frankly, it freaked me out. So I started working. I would go to work at 6 o'clock in the morning, be there until midnight every night, go home basically to get a couple hours of sleep, take a shower, put a new suit on, and hit it the next day. Did that every single day. And because I realized if the sales don't increase, I could be out of a job quickly. So I went and I called on a company that would end all of my problems financially if I got this sale. And it was GE Power Generation. And the guy who was in charge there would not see me. But every single day I would go and I'd bring 3 dozen donuts and I'd go back to the guys in the factory who were working on fixing things, and I'd bring them the donuts every day, and I would tell them, hey, tell Frank to see me. So I started having about 30 people that would go to Frank and say, hey Frank, you got to see Randy. He's a great guy. And it finally paid off. For one day I'm mowing the lawn and my wife comes out, hey, there's a guy looking for you from GE. Great. Shut the lawnmower off, I take the call, and he had 1 box, because I'm in the shipping business, going to India. And it had to be there for a power plant that was shut down. I go get the 1 box, go and start typing, because I didn't know how to route everything through the computer because it wasn't matching. And it had to be perfect. I went through about 2 dozen master airway bills before I got one right. And I took that 1 box and took it to Delta and got it to Mumbai. After that, because of being persistent, treating the guys in the back and staying focused on that all the time, everything that they did for the next few years, it was multi-million-dollar contract. And it's all because I treated those guys in back well, and they liked me. So you never know who's going to be the guy that gets you in, or the woman, whoever. But, and then number 7, you need to start acting like a boss. And that's not about, just ordering people around, but it's a lot of thinking and how you act, the confidence that you portray, the credibility. And that's one thing. All of these things here, when we get into it in bigger detail, more in depth, you're getting credibility for all of these things. So if you're young and you're having credibility issues because you think, oh man, what's this young kid? They're not going to give me the business. You may have a great idea. You have to show them that you know what you're talking about. Show them you mean business. Show them you know how to do business. And so following all these things is credibility. I'm wearing a suit for the first time here. I'm probably not going to wear a suit very often, but you're not going to take advice from a guy who looks like I just crawled out of a ditch, that hadn't taken a shower in 2 weeks. All of that appearance comes to your credibility. So that's real key, because I do know a lot of young guys who are getting into the business, and instead of, I'm not saying you have to dress like me. There's younger ways to look like you've got it going on, but you cannot wear what you're going out with Friday night, hitting the bars and the clubs, and expect to go and call on a CEO and he's going to respect you and think, yeah, I'm going to trust whatever I have going on with this guy or girl. But anyway, so that's all about credibility. So now I'm going to give you some homework. You'll get homework every week. So to-do list is, number 1, you need to talk to your spouse, your partner, somebody you think is going to be involved, and get them on your side. Work out any of the issues that you might have about starting a business. Bounce off, what you think. Let them beat it down. Kick out ideas, and the cream will rise to the top. Not every idea is a great idea, so get it out of the way before you start chasing your tail on something that's not going to be successful. So that's real key, and it's also key to have them on your side, because no matter what, a lot of your friends who you think are your friends, when you make a change, you change your thinking, you change your habits, you're not out with them every single night drinking or doing whatever's going on, they're not going to like that. And it's like, they're going to try to drag you down. You want to be with people who want you to be successful. And, that might even be with part of your family. Some of your family members are, maybe you got a past that they can't get over. And if you really want to make the change, they may not be down with it. So talk to somebody who is going to be supportive of you. And then, just like I said before, speak to your boss. If you're going to just take your current employment status to a higher level, you want to get a promotion, you want to max out what you can do at that company, go talk to your boss and then really make a change. If you've been a screw off all the time, you've got to really, it's going to take just more than words for somebody to say, he's on the right track now, he's on board. And part of that is, in the U.S. Army, they call it getting squared away. So they'll refer to somebody who got everything going right, they'll say, he's squared away. So get squared away with everything. And part of that is research successful business people in your area. If somebody's done it once, you can do it twice. Don't reinvent the wheel, improve on something else. But you need to study successful business people. And part of that is maybe you find a mentor who really wants to help you. Somebody older who's been in the business a while, maybe completely unrelated, but all business principles are the same in every single country. So find somebody who might be willing to help. I never had a mentor, and actually most people don't, but I know it's easier. I know people who've had mentors, and when you've got somebody like my age helping somebody, an up and coming, you get rid of roadblocks, and that person may be able to introduce you to somebody else that can really take you to, get on that rocket ship instead of just going slow by slow. You might be able to skip a few steps and get a little bit higher. And then 5 is, S&W is strengths and weaknesses. We're going to get into SWOT, which is strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats for your business. But on this first day, look at yourself. Look in the mirror and say, what truly are my strengths? What truly are my weaknesses? And accentuate your strengths, work on your weaknesses. So that's all I have for today. Hit the subscribe button so that you get these every single time we do it. But we're going to do this every week. And so next week, we're going to hit really hard changing your thinking and really getting deep into strategic thinking on how to take your business to another level. Strategically think about even your friends. Not that you just dump friends because, they can't do anything for me. It's not like being a social climber, but you think about it. Who are your friends? They were kind of thrown together more than likely, but if you're strategically seeking out friends who have really the same types of interests as you, interests where you want to go, that'll also take you to another level. So till next time, if you have any questions, you want to make any comments, I can be reached here, randy.robida at teamww.com. So we own USA to Everywhere, but we also own, I'll get into this a lot deeper, but we also own this. So this is probably the best way to reach me if you got any comments or anything you want me to cover. So till next time, salute.